So you're going to see me going back and forth, looking at my notes and looking at my computer and all that good stuff. Can you guys raise your hand if you can hear me? Okay, perfect. I got a couple hands up. So I'm guessing you guys can hear me. So tonight is the distributor training and how to attract distributors, not so much enroll distributors. If you don't know how to enroll them, then you need to talk to your upline, and they're going to show you exactly how to get them started once they say yes. And of course, you got started yourself. And so if you got started yourself, chances are you're going to do it exactly the same way that your leader had started you. And so as far as tonight's Zoom goes, it's literally going to be about how to attract them on social media, and how to enroll, like, and mass enroll distributors. Okay, so what I want to start out with is I'm going to start out with posting, and then I have like a little exercise that I actually learned from April Jennings. I think it was like this past week. I learned from her, and I don't know if she put it in Diamond Divas. I'm pretty sure it was just in our Diamond and Above group, but it might be in Diamond Divas, so you might be able to rewatch it. So as far as like posting on Facebook, the very first thing I want to say is, I don't see a lot of negative posts or anything in this group right now, but you're like, any negative posting or drama or negativity or being a negative Nancy, or just talking about he said, she said, who gives a shit type of thing, needs to completely go off your Facebook. That is done. That's over with. You're going to be changing who you are, and you're going to be really moving into the new person that you are and showing everybody how much you're changing. And over time, just doing that alone is going to show people that this actually works to change who you are and change your future. Okay. So keeping that off there. Also, I know I've seen this a couple of times in the past. It's not recently, but I've seen like people commenting on other people's posts in a negative way, and or even just writing it in their comment section of their post, like just going and arguing back and forth with someone in their posts. And that's like something that needs to come to an end. We do self-development and growth on this team. I know most of you guys are doing it every single day. And so this is something that needs to be started if you have not. And that's going to help you with keeping the positivity on your Facebook and all the negative stuff off of your Facebook. Because you're running a business, not really just talking about your BS all over Facebook, right? So the next thing is I want to talk about was sharing your story. So how many of you guys have heard me like in the group chat saying, share your story on Facebook daily? So like sharing where you come from, where you are right now, and where you're going. Okay. And I want to give you guys some examples tonight on this, because I know some people are confused on what I'm even talking about. And you might be looking at me thinking like, what are you talking about, Chelsea? Because I don't have a story yet. I don't have a story like you or any other leader or anything like that. But the thing is, you do have a story, and you got started with this business for a reason. There is a reason that making extra income, what pulled you to making that extra income? What pulled you to actually want to work a business from home and make extra income? And that's what you're going to be talking about every single day. And there's a reason for it. And it's because 80% of people on this earth, okay, they're all emotional decision makers. There's only 20% that are actually like logical thinkers. People who base things off of facts, not so much emotional stuff. And I think I've told pretty much everybody on here that this is how it pretty much is. So as far as posting on Facebook, you want to be posting things that other people can relate to. And if you're not posting things that other people can relate to, chances are that's why you're not getting any distributors right now. Because your people on your Facebook aren't able to emotionally connect themselves to what you're doing, and which makes them not really curious about what you're doing. And so as far as posting on Facebook, you want to, if you are struggling right now, even, you want to cast your vision on where you're headed. And it's okay to talk on Facebook. And I know this is really hard for some people. It's okay to talk on Facebook and say, I've struggled with A, B, and C, but here's where I'm headed. This is what I'm hoping for. This is what I'm working for every single day. And just kind of sharing that in a creative way on your Facebook. And you can literally say it point blank like that. It doesn't have to be overthought. You can be straightforward and just saying it like that and just cast your vision over your life. Another great way to do this is, I don't know if you guys have Pinterest, but when I first started and I didn't have a story, I went on Pinterest all the time and I looked up pictures of things that I really wanted or things that I really needed. Like for instance, Matt and I, we wanted to build a new house, or we wanted to get our house finished, and we wanted to finish our remodeling. So I would look up all these different things that I wanted in my house, and I would post those on Facebook, and I would say, I cannot wait until the day where I can literally walk into the store and pay for this cash. I would post that right on my Facebook. It's okay to do that because you're casting a vision, but not only that, you're holding yourself accountable to that. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to claim stuff on Facebook and then not follow through with it. I mean, it's one thing if I say it to myself and I let myself down. I mean, that's horrible in itself, but also showing other people that you let yourself down as well. So make sure, you're posting stuff like that because you're casting a vision over your life. And the more you think about it, the more you dream about it, the more you talk about it, the more positive that you are about it, the more it's going to come to you. It's just law of attraction is how it works. So I also had down here as where your life used to be, how you used to be, and how you used to think. So all of us know that have been in here for a while. We all know that this business is not just money changing, like lifestyle changing as far as money. It changes your mindset. It literally changes who you are. I went from being this horrible person, terrible mother, didn't even know my child. Like I was drinking 24/7. I was going out and doing whatever I wanted to do, working 70 to 110 hours a week, to this 100% mom who loves her baby more than anything. I'm with her 24/7. I don't drink anymore. I don't, use that as an excuse. I don't, go out to the tavern when I'm feeling anxious. I pick up a book and I read a book because that's what this business has taught me. Or I work my business because that's what this business has taught me. Okay. So it allows you to focus on things that are bigger and better than you've ever really focused on before. And so sharing that with the people on your Facebook is huge because chances are there is someone out there that has a very similar story as you do. I can't even tell you how many girls have joined my team who have had a very similar story like mine. And they come in all different, ages and groups and everything. So you just never know who's watching you. So sharing all aspects of your story, where you come from and where you're hoping to head, is going to cast that vision that someone else needs to hear and someone else needs to be able to join you. So that's one of the things that I had. And then, of course, messaging. It's always going to be a messenger. We all know that, posting, we can post until we're blue in the face. But if you get in your messenger at the same exact time and you're posting the right way, you're going to get people coming to you about those posts, but you're also going to be able to reach out to people who maybe just aren't ready to reach out to you yet. So you can start building that relationship with them, and you can start showing them that they're worth more than what they're allowing themselves to go through. And so that's why we message. And so mass messaging is huge. Like for example, tonight I had posted something on Facebook, or not tonight, it was yesterday. I had posted something on Facebook that was talking about who wants to make some extra money. And you know what I did right after that? I went on a messaging spree and I asked every single person if they were interested in getting started, working with me, extra $500 a month. And I say it in a super, super simple way. The message I send every single time is, hey, do you know anybody who would be interested in making some extra income? Sometimes I add in, if not, no biggie. Just figured it couldn't hurt to ask, right? That is so ridiculously simple. It's insane. And being able to send that to as many people as you possibly can, you just never know who's going to be on the other end and who's going to really need that extra money in that moment. And so messaging is really, really big, and keeping it extremely simple. All you have to do is message, be honest, be upfront. but at the same exact time, don't answer questions that aren't asked. So if someone asks you how the pay works, you're not going to go on and send them 60 messages or 60 lines talking about the pay and everything like that. You're not going to go into every single detail. It's just going to be a very simple point blank how the pay works, where you get paid for your work ethic, and the more, the more you put in, the more effort that you put in, the more you get out of it. And that's just how it works. And then as far as like, don't worry if someone says no. Everybody goes through seasons in life, and you're going to notice this. And we're not going to be desperate when people are talking to us about the business. We're not going to be begging people, because we know that this changes lives. We are confident that this changes lives, that this is like your way to be a stay-at-home mom, or your way to make an extra $500 to pay your mortgage, or your way of being able to take your kids on a trip this summer and not have to worry about your financials. We know that this works. And the more that you when you're reaching out, the more confident you are, and not begging someone to get started, the easier it's going to be to enroll distributors. If they say no, okay, great. They're going to go through a season in their life where they're going to need this, and it's going to come up, and it's totally fine if right now is not their time. Totally okay if right now is not their time. I can't even tell you how many girls that I have talked to, and they've been watching me for 1 year to 2 years, and they were just not ready to get started with me yet. And you know what? I'm 100% okay with that, because I know that there is a time that's coming where they really are going to want to make a change in their life. And you know who's going to be there to catch them and teach them and encourage them to grow? That's going to be me, because I was always in their inbox, and I was always on their Facebook, and they were always looking at my Facebook rather than that person who's negative all the time, or that person who's begging them constantly. And so it's okay to prospect. It's okay to ask them. It's okay to ask quite a few times. That's totally fine. You have to follow up with them at least like 3 to 20 times before they say yes. And that's totally okay to do. But as far as begging goes, as far as guilt tripping or anything like that, we want to refrain from that, because there's no need of it. We are confident. You're either with it or you're not with it right now. And that's okay. Eventually you will be. And everybody on your potential list will be with it, but just right now is not their time, and that's okay. That also goes along with us not being salespeople. So like salespeople, you know how you have to rebuttal, and you have to kind of convince them that this is for them and stuff like that. With our business, we don't have to do that. We can be 100% completely honest. And so I get a lot of messages from, my downline and everything, asking if, what I should say to this distributor. And my answer is always going to be honest, be simple, ask a question back, make them feel like they are important, because they are important. Their goals are important. What they need is important. And that's what our job is about, is lifting others up who actually want it. The people, and we're, that's what it's all about. So you want to make sure that you're doing all of that. And just making sure if someone says no, you don't beat it to death. It's no sense in beating a dead horse. I always say that. So, just making sure that you're continuously going. And if say you message 5 people and they all say no, not right now, or maybe a couple of them ignore you, it's going to happen. Get over it. It's going to happen. And so that just means that you need to message more, and maybe up that 5 to 10. And then the next time you message 20. And then if you don't get anything from 20, message 30. And you need to really pay attention to falling in love, or like becoming infatuated with planting seeds. How many of you guys know what I mean when I say planting seeds? Okay. So for those of you who don't know what I mean by planting seeds, I do have a video that talks all about planting seeds on my YouTube. So I'll send that to you. But as far as planting seeds, just to keep it real simple, is when you're messaging someone, it's almost like planting a seed. And because you're going to water that seed over and over and over again. And the more you water it, what happens? It grows, and then eventually you get to harvest that. And so the more you message, the bigger your harvest is going to be at the end of it. And so if you're messaging 5 people, I can guarantee you, you might get one, you might be able to harvest one at the end of it. But if you're messaging 50 people, you're going to get more and more and more people. So it's all about your work ethic. It's all about how many people you reach out to. And you have to reach out to people almost like your life depends on it if you're looking to go up. Anytime that you get the opportunity and the chance to send this message out to people, you need to become, almost obsessed with planting those seeds, and not so much obsessed with the result at the end of it and the harvest, but obsessed with planting those seeds. And the more you plant, the better, seriously. And the bigger you grow your potential distributor list, the better, because the bigger that harvest is going to be. And so what do I have next? So what I'm going to do next is I want to do the exercise that I have. Does everybody have, I'm guessing everybody has a piece of paper in front of them. If you do, hold up that piece of paper right now so that I can see it. Because we're going to do something, I don't know, some of you might have done this before, if you've been with me for a long time, but some of you have not, okay? So you want a blank piece of paper. Keep your notes paper that you're on right now, but you want a blank piece of paper, okay? And what you want to do is in the middle of that paper, I was taught this by April Jennings, so you know it's good. She's Ambassador Diamond Leader. She's made it that far for a reason. And so you want to write in the middle of that piece of paper, either your goal of what distributor, how many distributors you're looking to sign, or you're going to write something positive about the distributors that you're bringing to you. Okay. So on mine, for example, I wrote distributors are coming to me, because I want to remind myself of this every single day. And this is just law of attraction. When you tell yourself that something's going to happen and you put the work in to follow that plan, it's going to come to you. It's just how it is. If you don't know what law of attraction is, you need to go look it up, because it's huge, like massive, and it's going to control your entire life. So once you're done that, okay, what I've done is I have put different qualities around this middle, and I'm going to show you mine in a minute, of the type of person that I want to work with. All right. So on mine, for example, I'm going to flip this around for you. On mine, for example, I have 100% coachable, because if you're not coachable, obviously you're not going to make it that far, because you need to be able to have that ability to learn. You need to be willing to learn how to run this business. And so I started out with this in the middle, stating that, they're coming to me and I know they're coming to me. And then I said 100% coachable. The next thing is self-motivated. And I put that on mine because I don't want to work with someone who I have to constantly tell them what to do every single day. I want them to be self-driven and self-motivated, okay? The next thing is huge goals that are important to your heart, because I know I have big goals that are important to my heart, that pull my heartstrings enough to the point where I will work this business no matter what, because I know for a fact that that's more important to me than being lazy or having trouble with time management, or Bailey's sick that day. I'm going to find time in my day to make it happen, because these goals are important to me. All right. And that's who I want on my team. Then I put resourceful, because who doesn't love a good resourceful person, right? Someone who will go on YouTube and they'll go and look up their own training. You don't even have to teach them, because they already know, because they've already looked it up. Or go on their website. If they don't know what what our fat fighters do, they become resourceful and they go look it up on myitworksproductcoach.com, or they go and look it up on their own website. They don't know the price of something, they go look it up. They don't ask you. That's what I want on my team. So that's what I put down. Relatable. I'm a pretty relatable person. I've been through pretty much most things that people have been through. There's some things I can't relate on, you know, that's okay, but I can understand at least. And that's what I want on my team. The next thing I have on mine is ready for more. Just so ready to get out of the situation that they're in, that they need this. Like, this is it for them. They need this to change. The next thing that I have is excited, because I'm pretty excited all the time, right? And then no excuses. I want someone who has no excuses whatsoever. Like, that's who I'm bringing onto my team next, are people who, I'm sick. Okay, I'm working in bed. Yeah. I had to go bring my brother to the airport, but I worked while I was sitting there waiting for his plane to, take off, whatever. And then, so that was the last one. So, I was taught this on April Jennings, and here's why. Because once you get all of the things written down of the different people that you want to work with, these are people that you personally want to work with, and you can get personal with this too. I saw a couple of them that were like, they had said something about being in Maine. I saw someone that put on theirs that they wanted someone who was a Christian faith-based, because they wanted to be able to pray with them and do stuff like that with them. Okay. And that's totally okay. You can literally look for whoever you want to look for. But once you have this written down, I want you to put it somewhere that you're going to see it every single day. And then you need to be this person. This is how you're going to attract these people, is by being these people. And that goes right along with, not asking your team to do things that you're not willing to do. And I know a lot of us get into that habit sometimes where we have this team and we might only have a couple of distributors, or I've even done this in the past where I've expected my team to be motivated and push for volume, and I'm not even pushing for it. Or I want my team to be mass distributor signers, and I'm not even willing to shoot a message to someone that day or do my follow-ups that day. If you want your team to be all of these things, you need to be all of these things every single day. If you want to attract people who are willing to do these things, you need to be willing to do these things too. And you need to start doing them now versus when, you get a team. You want to start being this person well ahead of getting a team. So I encourage you to write this down, and I encourage you to put this, even if you have to do a couple copies, put them everywhere to remind yourself, am I being coachable today? Like, am I having a no excuses mentality today? Am I relatable today? Am I really being resourceful today? All right. So that goes as far as that. And then when it comes to the last thing I think I had was, paying attention to the color chart. Okay. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about when I say color chart, like different colors? Okay. If you don't, I'm going to tag you in something in Dark Horse Rise Up. I might just send the link right through to Team Diamond Hustle. That way you guys can all check it out. I encourage you to check this out, because everybody has a different personality, okay? And I have a personality test too. If you want to take it, you want to see who you are, you're not really sure what color you are. There's 4 different colors. There's red, yellow, blue, and which one am I missing? Red, yellow, blue, and green. There we go. Missing the one that I can't stand. But, and it's not that I can't stand them. It's just difficult for me because I'm super, super red. Okay, guys. So as far as the colors go, when you're talking to a potential distributor, you want to be mindful of what their color is. And this is how I become relatable, because I think about what this person is saying and how they're acting, and I know their color almost instantly. And just by asking them small little simple questions, if they're getting back to me right off the bat, chances are they're probably like a red. or they really, really need this maybe. You just never know. And so asking questions is so, so, so important. So if they're a red, talking about money. If you're talking to people on Facebook and you're noticing that you've got a lot of people that you're talking to and they are super red, you better be posting something on your Facebook that's talking about the money aspect of our business. Like posting your bonuses, your weekly bonuses, or posting your paycheck with it covered up, because it's nobody's business really how much you make, but you're making money and that's what people need to see. And then when it comes to, like, if you're talking to a yellow, talking about how you're helping so many people today, or sharing a story from someone else who is a yellow, who was scared, who didn't know if they could do this, and you know felt intimidated by other people's opinions, like that story, like on Facebook. And then maybe if you have a blue, talking about how much fun it is to hop on Zooms and listen to Chelsea talk, like that, like super, super simple. If you go to an event motivated and just as fun and ready to go as you are and ready to build their life, um, even if, like, you're just saying, I get to meet people, that's literally my job, posting that, something like that on Facebook. And then for greens, sharing a lot of stories, sharing a lot of other people's stories, and getting their minds turning that it's not just you that's doing this, that there's a whole community doing this. We know our company is big, but it's not as big as it could be. And so sharing that on Facebook really is going to get the different colors attentions. And so if I'm talking to someone on Facebook, like on Messenger, and they say something about how they're skeptical because I'm going to read that in just a second, Chrissy, because I'm going to do questions. But when it comes to, like, someone says, I'm really nervous because, my family doesn't really support this, and I don't know what they're really going to think about it. I'm going to share a story, or I'm going to talk about my life and how I've had to overcome people's judgment, or I'll post a quote about ignoring what other people think about you. Or the only way to grow is to stop overthinking what other people think about you, or the only way to find your happiness, or something like that. If I'm talking to someone and they are saying that they want to get started, but they're nervous because they don't want to pay the $99 and then be screwed out of it, I post success stories like crazy like that. And I say, this person was afraid, or I even talk about how I was afraid. I talk about what my financial status looked like before I started, and how I returned bottles to get started, and how we were about to lose our house before I got started. And I talk about all that stuff because I know that that person's watching me at that point, and I know that they're checking out my page. And then I even if I have someone that I think would be awesome at what I do, but they are talking to me about something, I'll go ahead and I'll post on Facebook, and then I'll go react on a ton of stuff on their Facebook, so that they automatically see my stuff. And so it gets them curious, it gets them thinking more, it gets them really, like, starting to understand what we do and how we do it. Okay. So as far as the color chart goes, I'm going to tag everybody in it. I wanted to go through the questions really quick. So if you have a question, be sure to drop it in there so that I can answer it and kind of elaborate on it real quick. I just really need to tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you record all your trainings. Okay, that's not a question. So as far as the distributor training goes, it's all about planting those seeds in your messenger, actually asking. It is totally okay to prospect and just ask. And the thing is, you cannot judge a book by its cover. I say this all the time to everyone, because I've had a lot of people who have said, oh, I don't think that they would want this because they already work a full-time job, or they're already working 2 jobs, and they already make good money at these 2 jobs, and they love working and all this stuff. You cannot make that judgment for someone. And so as far as reaching out to someone, it is totally okay to reach out to them, even though you know that that they might not be interested because of something else, but that is your mindset, not theirs. And so same with when it comes to talking about the company, and if someone asks you flat out, you know, what's the name of the company, tell them they're going to be working for this company, right? They need to know like who they're working for. And it's okay if they say, oh no thank you, I've already dealt with that before. Okay, have a great day. It's okay, and it's not going to be for everybody. You know, everybody needs this, but not everybody is going to go with it, not everybody's going to want it. And so you want to make sure you remember that when you're talking to people. So as far as that goes, that's pretty much it for the distributor training. If you have any questions, put it in Team Diamond Hustle. This is going on YouTube. I want to double check that. I am recording it tonight, so I'll put it on my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, you can either put it in the group chat, or if you're not on my team, go ahead and put it in the comment section on my YouTube, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Talk to you guys later. Hope you have a great night.